I hope everybody. I've done a stream for a while, so I figured I might as well just hop on if people wanted to ask me questions. Anything like that, just go ahead. I also just wanted to play some more of Khazan. So I started playing Khazan last week, and I got to admit, I'm really enjoying the game. Um, I like it a lot more than Lies of P to be on. Okay. So I have to go talk to the woman. There are issues with the stream. What does that mean? I need some I need some more explanation than there are issues with the stream. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. 1 second. Okay. I know what it is. Okay, there we go. Did that fix it? Hopefully that fixed it. Sorry if the first couple minutes of that was bad. So if people couldn't hear the first couple minutes, I hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. I think Deferona is this game's waifu. She kind of reminds me of like a mixture of the Firekeeper and Emerald Herald, but more British. I just had OneDrive running, so that might have caused some problems. Okay, so where was I going? Yeah, I need to talk to the witch. So yeah, if anybody wanted to talk about anything, if anyone had any questions or whatever, feel free to just drop them. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm liking this game a lot more than Lies of P. I find it more fair. I'm playing this on normal. So for those of you who don't know, the game launched with one difficulty setting, which was just standard. So they added in easy mode, and then they added in story mode as well, and then they renamed it. So the old easy mode is normal, hard is the old normal, and story mode is a new difficulty they added in. So I would say that normal on this is about the same as story mode in Lies of P. I just find this game a lot easier. It just might be because it's not as reliant on parrying. So.
See, that must be what the witch was talking about.
Oh, is that just a? That's not an enemy. Okay. Let me just share this on the server. So hope people have been liking the content these days. It's kind of it's hard because since I switched to not spamming videos as much and putting more time in, my views have gone way down just because there's less out. But I feel a lot better about what I'm producing, so I don't know. I guess that's the turnoff. This isn't a job for me, so if I should focus more on doing the content I want to do and doing it the way I want to do, because it's not like I really make money off of this, but I don't know. Maybe at some point, maybe someday. I tend to just fight the revenants whenever they're around. Just because want to keep upgrading the summon, and they normally have pretty good drops. So I decided to go with Greatsword. It's just most similar to my Dark Souls playstyle. There isn't really a medium weapon in this. I guess maybe the spear is, but there's... I don't know. I actually find the greatsword is pretty fun because it gives a bunch of bonuses to like dodge and blocking and stuff. Oops. Fuck that up. I think the main thing the difficulty settings changes is just how much damage you take. Like, I don't have that much of a problem with the mechanics in this compared to, say, Liza P, but... it is what it is. Let me know if the audio balance is okay. Yeah, I would say this is probably the best non-FromSoft Souls game I played. I just find the combat very dynamic. Was I timed for this mission? I don't know what that box is at the bottom. Maybe that's a timer? I don't know. So. But yeah, I've just been going through this lately. I played a whole bunch of Dawn of War. Unfortunately, the mods for Dawn of War aren't really working yet. Because there's the unification mod that I think adds in like 30 different factions. It's just if you try to run it on Dawn of War Definitive Edition, it screws up. It doesn't work with the new interface, so it gives you really weird. Phantom form. Interesting. Souls-likes have exploded since Elden Ring. So, of the Souls-likes I played, I'll go through them. The Surge 1 is maybe the hard... it's hard for me to pick. The Surge 1 might be the hardest video game I've ever played. I couldn't get more than, like, past the first or second bonfire in that one. I just found it ridiculously difficult. Just unfun. Okay. Well, that's like substantially worse than just my normal abilities. I hated the Surge. The Surge 2 was slightly less bad, but I didn't like it. Neo I thought was just like a sadistic mess of a game. I really did not like Neo either. Liza P I'm sure would be okay, but I have bad reflexes, so I can't parry. So I actually got through Liza P without really being able to parry, which probably shouldn't have even been possible. But I grinded a lot, and I did a lot of, I was just very perseverant. You're probably not supposed to be able to even beat Liza P without parrying, but I actually think that the thing with Liza P is I actually think it was a lot harder than the Souls games I played, just because it's so dependent on the single play style. Mostly waiting for mods to fix Stalker 2. Yeah, I haven't played Stalker 2 in a while. I should get back to it. It's just that it ran with such a shit frame rate, despite having a really good computer, that I just stopped playing it. I'm most of the way to the end. I think I'm about to, like, start the end game. And I have everything upgraded. My other issue with it was I just found the economy in Stalker 2 was really brutal. Like the repair costs, the upgrade costs, the amount of money you got for stuff, I just found was insane. And I was just spending pretty much all my money and all my time just oh no, I already came through here. All my money and time just trying to repair my gear. And I just kind of got frustrated. So I just started putting in mods in that did stuff like reduce repair costs by like 80% and reduce degradation. The thing that I always find really weird about Stalker is it doesn't have the thing that a lot of more realistic games do where you lose the remainder of your magazine when you reload. Like, they have that in Helldivers 2, but not in Stalker, which I just find very odd. I'm not complaining. I mean, it's good from a gameplay perspective for me, but it's just weird. Would you agree with me on that? Vorpalan... Is it Vorpalanvi? I see you all the time in the comments. I just don't know how to pronounce your name. I just know you as Willy Wonka. I'll just call you Willy Wonka. Ooh, Great Sword of Mercy. That looks cool. Part of the Bishop set. Oh, right. I need to change that. Would you agree with me that the economy is kind of brutal? I don't know. I just find the amount of damage you take... Sorry, just the amount things cost kind of hurts the game for me. Vorpal Anvil. Okay. Great movie, by the way. Great movie. It scared the shit out of me as a kid, especially obviously the tunnel scene, but I loved that movie. The late, the great Gene Wilder. But yeah, so I hope people don't mind that I'm putting out fewer videos. I'm actually not really spending last time, but I feel like they have my quality's gone up quite a bit, so I was trying to be happy about that. What else was I thinking? What else was there? Something related to Stalker? Oh yeah. There's a movie review I need to do, and it's just I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. So I have some edgy friends who live here, and we watched Birth of a Nation together. So I want to do a review of it. It's just a very difficult film to review. Not because of any kind of community guideline strikes, but just because it's a silent movie, so much of it is just visual. And it's just kind of hard to convey that without like a whole bunch of editing. But it was definitely a very interesting film. And not even just really for political reasons, just it has some of the most interesting like set design and early special effects and stuff I've ever seen. So, have I played any Anno game? I played most of them. I liked Anno 1800 quite a bit. That was the main one I did. I haven't seen that Anno 11.7 is out. That sounds interesting, though. Apparently in the in the Stalker remaster, the Stalker HD versions they released, they removed all the Russian from it. They removed I don't know if they removed all references to the Soviet Union, but yeah, they just removed a whole bunch of stuff. Something I didn't like was didn't they censor the Orthodox crosses in Stalker 2, because I remember none of the crosses were Orthodox ones in game. Black Roman generals. Okay, I'm at the boss room. I probably have the resources to fight her. I'm just gonna go back and level first. Ever notice how diversity only refers to black people? That's always something I find fascinating. Like, there's never Asians, there's never Native Americans, there's never Indians even. It's always black people. Like in Lord of the Rings MTG, the only diversity they did was black people. Like they made Aragorn black and they made the Rohirrim black. They didn't make them Asian. I mean, making the Rohirrim like Asian might have made a little bit of sense. Like if they had have made them like a Turkish steppe people. I'm not going to defend that, but that would have at least like I kind of get where they're coming from with that. But apparently, like they were just black because that's how it always works. If I recall, one of the things that disappointed me in Stalker 2 was didn't none of the English voice actors have accents? Because to me, like, part of what the charm was in the OG Stalkers was how everybody just had the really over-the-top Slavic accents. And I feel when they got rid of that, it kind of took some of the charm out. Speaking of Pope Leo, I'm gonna say this about Pope Leo: he is doing a good job, solely by virtue that I almost never hear about him. I hear like he'll put out like a statement about something, but it's not like with Francis where I just hear all day, every day, like just insane stuff coming out. He just mostly seems to be staying in his own lane. And I'm just happy to not have to deal with the drama. Oh, that actually did a lot of damage. Wow. So yeah, I gotta review Birth of a Nation. Get out of here, stalker. Join duty and protect the innocent. Well, like I said in my video, I don't know what Israel's going to do at this point in time. There we go. That wasn't too bad. It's the greatest peace. It's the best peace deal that's ever been dealt. It's going to be a peace for 1,000 years. The 1,000-year Donald Reich. Whoa. She's mean. Don't be mean to the cute dragon girl.
It's clear he was loved and cared for went to find vengeance. Chaos.
None will stop duty on its triumphant march towards saving the planet. So for of the endings in Stalker 2, what do you think is the best ending and what do you think is the worst ending? Because I was kind of dissatisfied with most of them, like watching through them. Ironically, I think Spark's ending might not be as bad as it looks. Because like, isn't the point that you transcend the physical realm, so they've entered into a higher plane of existence and their bodies don't matter anymore? So, I don't know. I was just thinking about it, but honestly, I kind of sided with Ward throughout the game. They kind of Ward never really tries to screw you over, the way some of the other factions do. The Reign of Gold coins was in Stalker 1. I'm talking about Stalker 2. Do Souls-likes improve on anything? The combat in this game is pretty different. I like the combat quite a bit, actually. In this game, so I'd say yeah in that regard. Is this Bishop? Oh no, that's Pilgrim. I need Bishop. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. Oh well. Oh no, there we go, Bishop. There we go. I think it says something. The first time I played Stalker 1, I got the sea consciousness ending, where I sided with them, because I was like, this is base. We get to create a world without war, governed by like a bunch of weirdo Slavs and pods. I mean, get in the pod. I've been watching season 2 of Reincarnated as a Vending Machine with Absolute Defender. So I have a new one to add. Like, you know how they have to get in the pod, eat the bugs? We have Kiss the Vending Machine, because that was a line in it. It was like, kiss the vending machine, get in the pod, eat the bugs. Actually, that reminds me. For you non-Canadians here, have you ever heard of a Nanaimo bar? Just let me know in the chat. Because maybe if people haven't heard of it, maybe I'll do an Argent Tries It of Nanaimo bars. Partially just because they're like crack. They're like the greatest thing ever. And it gives me an excuse to eat one. But I was thinking of maybe doing one, but I wound up eating the ones I bought because they were just too delicious. So that's the problem with things like the Nanaimo bars. Oh. Okay, no, Nanaimo bar. Okay, so a Nanaimo bar is a Canadian dessert from British Columbia. So it's 3 layers. The bottom layer is a kind of like graham crumble chocolate type thing that's normally mixed with walnuts or coconut. So it's kind of like a crumbly, almost kind of cookie-like thing. Then the middle layer is buttercream mixed with custard. I think it's specifically, I think it's buttermilk or buttercream mixed with custard, like powdered custard, and then the top is chocolate. So it's so good. It's like the greatest thing ever, and it's normally served refrigerated. It's served cold. So yeah, the Nanaimo bars. There's a place near where I live that makes them. And they're pretty good, so I'll have to go get some. I just wasn't sure if that was a uniquely Canadian thing or not. Something that always disgusts me, and for you Americans who do this, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Um, what was it called again? I've heard that there are Americans who put corn syrup on their pancakes. That sounds like a sin against God and nature to do that. To put corn syrup on pancakes. You gotta get real maple syrup. Or if you want to put jam or honey or butter or something, that's fine, but corn syrup is like pleb food. Oh, there's places I've been in the US where, like, I'm at a hotel and they'll have, like, corn syrup and it'll be like this pink syrup that they put that for the waffles, and I'm like, no. I'm not eating that. It's just not going to happen. God, I love pancakes, though. Pancakes have to be one of my favorite foods. I don't know. The real maple syrup is always worth it, in my humble opinion. It's not actually that expensive. At least if you're getting it for one person, it's what, like $20, $30 a liter, which lasts me a couple months. I have some egg bread cooking at the moment, well, baking at the moment, so we'll see how it turns out. Are there Waffle Houses in Canada? I don't know. Waffles are just generally something I don't really go out for. If I'm gonna go out for if I'm gonna go out for breakfast, I'll normally get like a breakfast sandwich or something. But I generally almost never go out for breakfast, just because it's the easiest meal to cook here. I got an air fryer. Why are waffles disgusting? There's literally, well, I maybe your waffles are different. There's literally no difference between waffles and pancakes. Like, at least the ones I like, they use the exact same batter. They use the same ingredients, they use the same batter. Just one's made in a waffle iron and one's made in a pan. There we go. There's a place in Canada called Cora's, which is, I think, fairly popular as far as breakfasts go, although it's gone downhill. I remember the last time I was at Cora's, they're like, you can have corn syrup, or you can pay more for maple syrup. And I'm just like, a place in Canada that's charging you extra for maple syrup, this is heresy. This is madness. Let's go. What else was there? I recently watched the first season of the Fallout TV show. I was just kind of got curious. I couldn't review it. I just don't really know what to say. It was just kind of schlock. It's very schlocky. It's not like the worst thing that I've ever had. It's not like the best. It's just kind of... No, it's pretty bad. What am I talking about? The Fallout show's pretty bad. It's not funny bad, though. That's kind of the problem. It's like when I watched Rings of Power, and I never did I watched the first episode of Rings of Power, and I didn't really do a review of it, just because it wasn't, like, funny bad. It was just boring. It was just boring schlock. Oh, oops. I didn't realize that was a, I don't know. I just found it really mediocre. It's just kind of schlock. Okay, let's see here. I don't really like what they did with the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't like that the NCR just got destroyed off screen for no real reason.
Damn it, science. Look at me.
What the hell is this thing? Oh boy. I really hated the ghoul. Was the ghoul supposed to be sympathetic? Because he just seemed like an asshole. What the fuck? Is there some sort of trick for this boss? I'm not doing any damage. There must be something I'm supposed to do here. I just don't know what it is. I guess it's because, like, we have to have faux nihilism, so we can't have, like, the only non-shitty place in the world get last. It just has to get destroyed. Oh yeah, and all the members of the Brotherhood of Steel were dicks except for the non-binary guy. Okay, I'm not really... I think I can hit his face, I'm just not sure how to do that. Exactly. Oh wait, can I do... Does that work? Yes, okay, that works. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, well, that somehow worked out. I don't entirely know, but... I thought it was really lame when the ghoul took out the entirety of the what's it called again? Brotherhood of Steel by himself. He just like one-shot all of them and just made them look like assholes. It was just kind of like, yeah. Let's see. Hey, kitty. Do you want to sit on my lap? No, she's just blocking my screen. I have to wonder, like, how many Soulsborne challenge runs have been ruined by cats just standing in front of the screen and demanding attention. There's got to be a lot of them. That's got to be a pretty common reason for people to fail. Let's see. They added in a female Khazan as a free DLC. The only problem is if you play the female Khazan, you cannot use... it disables cutscenes, which is weird, but whatever. We need more cat vids. Okay. Opinion of One Punch Man. I just didn't like what... One Punch Man just came across as being very Reddit to me. I will get a second cat when I get a bigger apartment. My apartment's only about 500 square feet. If I get like a 2-bedroom, I'll get a second cat. I just don't think I have room for one at the moment. Especially since I don't let rain into my room at night. Just because I've tried that in the past and she just jumps on me. And it's... yeah. I don't know, and just waking up to have your cat staring at you is creepy. DSP had an attempted redemption arc, which he failed. So, how do I even describe the DSP redemption arc? So, Phil had teamed up with Andy and Ashton from Kino Casino, and they were trying to give him... Okay, so let me try to explain this. So, Kino Casino was gassing Phil up for basically months and just praising him and calling him a king and stuff like that. And it was pretty obvious to anybody who's like not retarded that the whole thing was just them like trying to fuck with, like just them being sarcastic. But Phil took it seriously. So they decided to like bring him on the show, and he did an interview, and then they had him go up against Josh Moon, and then they had him like do some debates and stuff like that, and they were going to try to do some content with him, and they were trying to get Phil to go to Phil was complaining that he had never had a honeymoon with Kat. So Ashton had said that, I'll tell you guys what, why don't you come down with us to, why don't you come down to Florida? This was back when Hulk Hogan was still alive. Hulk Hogan had a bar down there, and he would come by a couple nights a week, and it's like, you know what, let's go down to Hulk Hogan's bar for the Super Bowl. You can meet your hero. We can hang out and do some content. And Phil said no. Which, if Phil had have just said, look, you're just some guy on the internet, I don't feel comfortable accepting like a multi-$1,000 trip. That's okay. So basically just stuff kind of continued on. They made fun of Phil a couple of times and he couldn't take it and he just kind of spurred out. So when it became clear, as it was clear to everybody, that the whole thing had just been them gaslighting him, it was just him them gaslighting him. He decided to come up with like what probably the worst cope I think I've ever seen was. So the cope that Phil came up with was that he was the king snake, that the whole thing was a 4D chess plan, and that he had been manipulating Kino Casino for months, and that the whole thing was him taking advantage of them and trying to like control them. And so like during this unhinged thing about that him being a king snake, he started talking about how he lied about his like wife having cancer, and he lied about his pets dying and his parents being terminally ill as a way to get Ashton to feel sorry for him. And he was like, yeah, I fooled them by doing that. It's like, that's insane, dude. He was like, one of the things is he's like, oh yeah, my rabbit died. And he like cried to Ashton, and he was like, Ashton's PPP, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And he cried to Ashton, and he was like, oh, it was the replacement for the child because Kat can't have children because of her health issues, and we really wanted to have a kid, and the rabbit was kind of the stand-in for our kid and stuff like that. And he's like, I fooled him into believing all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, are you a psychopath? Like, what the fuck is that? I just like, that's your flex? Your flex is you lied about your pet dying? And I just like, okay, so here's the thing. I was historically known back when I used to cover DSP more. Actually, Kiwi Farms would occasionally bring me up as like the only fair detractor, or the only detractor who wasn't like extremely anti-Phil. So I was actually still somewhat sympathetic to Phil up until the WWE Champions thing. And when it finally incontrovertibly, I can't say it, came out that Down from the Rafters was DSP, and that he had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on WWE Champions, he just did this big rant where he said, it's my money, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. You people gave me the money. It's my right to spend it, and you people who criticize me are losers. And I'm like, yeah, but Phil, that's in a sense maybe that's true. The reason why so many people got pissed off about him is the money he got that he spent on WWE Champions was gotten because he was begging and saying that he was broke and that he was going to lose his house and that he couldn't buy groceries. So he would go on and he would beg and say, look, I can't afford groceries this week. They're going to foreclose on my house. My wife has medical bills and they're not going to give her medication anymore. I need the money. And people would feel bad for him and give him money. And then he would spend that money on his mobile game. And when that came out, a lot of people were pissed off. And his response was just to get really angry and self-righteous and go, you guys suck. I can spend my money on whatever I want. And I'm just like, dude, you got it under false pretenses. Like, you can say that the people were naive and foolish for believing you, but a lot of them, like, I'm sure there's some, I'm sure there were some non-trolls who actually felt bad for him. And I admit I felt periodically bad for him over the years. And there are probably some people like, oh, dude, shit, the dude's going to lose his house. I'll throw him a couple bucks. And Phil was, in my opinion, psychopathically manipulating people into giving him money, which I just think is personally really fucked. But that was when I really started to actively hate him. And when he did the whole King Snake thing, that's when I really started to despise him and actively wish for his downfall. I haven't watched The Dented Zone yet. I need to watch that. But no, it's just a psycho thing. Like if Phil had have said, I'm lonely, I thought that they were my friends, they were using me, and I just wanted to believe, and I was naive, then I would have felt bad for him. I'm going to be honest. If Phil had have just said that, I'm not the best at reading social cues. I thought they were my friends, and they snaked me. I probably would have felt bad for him, at least a little bit. But he decided it was better to be a psychopath who lies about your parents having terminal cancer to get sympathy, than to say that you were a bit naive. I don't know. It's insane to me. I don't get it. It's just fucked. But once again, that's just the way that Phil is. Ultimately, no one can do more damage to Phil than Phil does to Phil. That looks cool. I like that. Okay. I'm liking the old tactician set. Those don't look bad, actually.
I heard you.
But anyway, so that was DSP's failed redemption arc. And I think to this day he still doesn't get it. So I think he still doesn't get why people were angry about that whole thing and why the whole thing kind of exploded in his face. Do I think the Epstein files will ever be released? No. I unfortunately I don't think that they will. Well, one of the reasons why, like, if Phil just, and here's my issue, like, old Phil I actually kind of liked, like, back when he would do, like, friend request ridicule, and he would just spurg out and yell at people, and he would complain about the games, like, he's so milquetoast. I think it's funny when, like the Kojima being his arch nemesis thing I thought was amazing. Like, I thought that was a hilarious running joke, and he just kind of, I don't know, just kind of dropped it, and it never really went anywhere. No, he's just so paranoid and so yeah. What does that mean? What does what mean? Yeah. Yeah, Phil's idea of content these days is wearing vests, which... Yeah, people called Phil racist, although, like, all his funny jokes were from that era. Like, when he was facing Vulcan Raven in Metal Gear Solid 1, he was like, wampa, go to my casino, spend your money. And he would do stuff like that, and he'd be like, you are no match for my Native American powers. And then, like, whenever Mei Ling would come on, he'd be like, ching chong ching Charlie Chan. And he would do, like stuff like that. Then there was the base playthrough where he pretended to be Hitler. During the Dead Space one, which people shit on him for years. And, like, it was, like, the only Kino thing he's ever done. Like, cut the guy a break. I don't know what any of those mean. Well, you just get Weens and A-logs who just come in and just ruin the whole thing. Like, you're trying to have some fun, and they just... Like, I don't like the people who got DSP, cost DSP, his sponsorships. Like whenever Phil would get a sponsorship, some of the like retarded A-logs would go in and try to fuck with him IRL. And I just never really I never agreed with that. Like they got him wow, I'm really inarticulate today. But Great Sword of Mercy. I've been wanting to cover the quartering. I just haven't gotten to it. I did come up with a is it, you know how I have is it fascist? I have come up with a scoring system for are they a lol cow, which I'll do at some point in time. Deep Shadow. Guard penetration. Okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. Do I have any other shadow stuff? Deep Shadow. Like Quarter Pounder is some of just the most fascinating and bizarre shit I've ever seen. I've been really enjoying the Kino Casino coverage of him. I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen anything like the him telling the stories of him shitting his pants. Like I was just shocked when I was watching that. Like him telling the half-hour long story about how he shit his pants in a Walmart, and I was just like, what? I don't know. It just that was one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Was just how long he went on about how he shit his pants in Walmart, and he was like proud of it for some reason. I don't know why. He seemed proud of the fact that he was shitting his pants. I don't know. It's just to me, if I had done that, I would never talk about it because it's like the most disgusting. Like he went on about it, and he was proud of it. He's like that he like painted the walls of the bathroom with his diarrhea, and I'm sorry to even like talk about this, but I don't know. He was proud of it. Like this is a dude who said that a life hack was taking Imodium before you left the house. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Puritan. Maybe that's just although I think we're from the same generation. To me, the idea of having to take Imodium to leave the house, it would be a mark of shame to me. But no, he talked about it. He's talked about him shitting in trash cans. He apparently does that a lot. It's just disgusting. And he tells this in front of women, and he thinks it's funny or it's cute. And I'm just like, dude, no. You have problems. Is there a way to watch him talk about this that doesn't have commentary? I'm sure there is, but he puts out like 20 videos a day, so it's kind of hard to tell. How bad is his diet? It's bad. Also, just he's on like 50 different drugs, so. Zach, don't tell people to watch the Quartercast. It's funny because I had never actually seen a quartering video prior to the casino starting to cover him. One of the funny things actually about him, so one of the things they make fun of him for is his Rolex watches. As far as luxury goods go, Rolex watches aren't actually that bad a thing to spend money on. They actually tend to hold their value pretty well. So he probably hasn't lost any money off of the Rolex watches he's bought. He could probably resell those again for about what he paid for them, maybe even at a small profit. Unlike some things that like people spend money on, Rolex watches apparently are a decent store of value. But he was bragging about his like 20 I forget if it was like he had 20 Rolex watches or something like that. And then he cried poor. So one of the things that happened, I think that really kind of, I think the thing that brought him to the attention of Kino Casino is someone left a negative review of his coffee on Amazon. So he did a video claiming that the guy was a leftist who was trying to destroy his business. So he did like the video was titled like emergency video, leftist trying to destroy local business. Doesn't he have 3 private planes? I think it's like 2 or 3 private planes. He has like a 60-acre mansion or something, like a 6,000 square foot mansion. He has a giant saltwater aquarium. Well, he did. His stupidity got all the fish killed. He was paying somebody, I think it was something like $20. I think he was paying someone like $30, 20 hours a week or something like that to take care of his fish. And then all his fish died. And he just didn't care. So where did he get all the money from? I don't know. The quartering also had, I'm trying to remember how many employees it was. I think he had 12 employees. He had 12 people working for him. And it's like, dude, you just produce a podcast. Like, how is that even possible? Like, okay, so I get, okay, so if you're doing a news show or something, you maybe want one person to do the editing and one person to be a researcher. And I could see maybe a team of 3 people. That might make sense to me. That might make sense, but there's like 12 people. Like, I think he had a full-time person who did thumbnails or some shit like that. I don't know. And he pays, I think, Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire like $500 a podcast to be on. So. Oh no, he's lost a fuck ton of money off of Coffee Brand Coffee. They're all like these flavored coffees that don't sound very good. I forget if it's like there's a lime strawberry one or there's some fucking weird flavors. I forget what all they were.
The stench of chaos emanating from underground. Let us follow it.
Oh, Tim Pool was bought out by the Daily Wire. How much do you have to suck to be bought out by the Daily Wire in the year of our Lord 2025? So what was this whole no kings thing? Like, I didn't follow it because I have a low tolerance for F slurry. But was that what it was? I'm just trying to remember. Clear, are you saying that because I said that, or was that something that he actually did? Because I can't. I remember it being some really weird thing that he did. I know there was like an orange one. Oh, okay. So, like, was the No Kings, like, protest the most successful protest in history? Because America still doesn't have a king. They don't have a king afterwards, so and they still don't have one. So I guess the No Kings protest succeeded. Shit. No, not this thing. Fuck anything but the bat. Oh shit, I'm stuck here. Oh fuck. Okay. I need to get to somewhere where I actually have room to fight this thing. This is one of the most annoying enemies in the game. So was the idea that, like, Trump was trying to make himself the king of America and they were trying to stop Trump from becoming the king of America? Is that what, like, the protest was about? Because I don't really know anything about it. Hey, Kirkland brand coffee's pretty good. Kirkland brand coffee is not bad at all. I personally drink Nabob. But yeah, Kirkland's good. I got a car recently, so I got a Costco membership, so maybe when I'm out of Nabob I'll start getting Kirkland again. Kirkland is good. Well, pretty much anything Kirkland is good. I don't know anything about wrestling, so I didn't realize that Ashton's entire personality is based off of Scott Sterner, who is like a pro wrestler. Like he's fat. What was it again? Like that, and like he's poor. That's from like a Scott Sterner interview where he was shitting on someone. Now you guys have the Marine song stuck in my head. I have the Marine song stuck in my head, and I have the Army song stuck in my head. First to go, first to fight, and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all that we've done, fighting to the battles won, and the Army keeps rolling along. It's hi, hi, hey, the Army's on its way. Count out the cadence loud and strong. For where we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along. Who's hitting? Oh, okay. Valley Forge, Pat and Tanks, San Juan Hill. Can't remember all the lyrics for The Army Goes Really Well. Like half of them. I still think it's bizarre that the Marine one references the America's... Was America's first war when they intervened against the Barbary pirates? I did a whole enduro of Rebel Moon. I don't think I did a review of Rebel... I don't think I did a whole review of Rebel Moon 2. Rebel Moon 2 was so bad I couldn't even like make fun of it. It was so shit. It was somehow worse than Rebel Moon 1. Which I didn't think was possible. I still firmly believe that Rebel Moon was written by an AI. And no one can convince me that Rebel Moon was not written by an AI. That's just not a possibility for me. My controller is vibrating, so it means there is a jar somewhere around here. I just don't see where. I don't know. I'll come back, I guess. Oh yeah, Canada in 2025. Your guy, this is Canada guy. Ha ha ha! Stills guy, can you bum me off a spliff? I'll pay you back. Your guy Stills. Where are we? Where are we? Oh no, the UK is hell on earth. The UK is the worst. I think the most paused country in the world is the UK. I'm gonna go with that. I don't think it's as paused on like the tranny question, the TQ as Canada is, but on like okay, or maybe not paused. The UK is the most totalitarian country in the West. That was like another one of those videos I'll do at some point, but the number of people arrested for political crimes in the UK is much, much higher than in Russia and China. Like it's not even close. The number of people who get arrested there. I guess it's up there is maybe where I'm supposed to go. There's an audio book I'm listening to at the moment, and they gave one of the characters like a I don't know what accent it is. It's some British accent, and I just find it extremely triggering. It's like it's what I do. I'm from Yorkshire, son. I'm trying to think here. Oh, I can't do a British accent. Elma, I want some toast and butter with that. No, I can't do it. I'm bad at accents. The only accents I can really do is like southern ones. Like Cockney. Yeah, it's like a Cockney accent. No, British accents are legitimately triggering. Aussie. I'm Australian. I remember that was from that the episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Alien from LA. And just the running joke was there was an Australian guy, and just every time he talked, they go, I'm Australian. I'm back and I'm more Australian than ever. Just do like that. Son, can I do an affluent southern accent? Son, I can do more than that. I can do the old school mid-Atlantic Virginian accent. Like a true gentleman of the southern United States. Oh. Oh shit. Fuck. Got stun locked there. Ugh. It's always too bad that the last full measure never came out. Like, we had Gettysburg, we had the bizarre film that was Gods and Generals. We never got the last full measure, though, which would have been interesting. Yeah, I was just saying I watched Birth of a Nation a week or two ago, and I need to do a review of it. It's just a hard movie to review. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, though. But just like the KKK comes out en masse to like save the day from the northern occupation, and the Yankees just put blacks in charge of everything. Am I a Wask? A Wask? A Wask? A white Anglo-Saxon Catholic? Or did they just change the P to be person so it was more inclusive of non-Protestants? I'm not sure. There we go. I don't think I'm doing too bad at this game. I get it that I'm playing it on what technically was easy, but I haven't really died that many times. What I do. The biggest white pill is the oh, the biggest white pill is the Sargon redemption arc. Like how Sargon took the dad pill and now he's like based. But I don't know. I like Sargon. He's gotten so much better over time. Like, I watch the Lotus Eaters quite a bit. Actually, I find it's a pretty good show. Actually. Why is Sargon a gynocentric cock? I don't know. I don't know if that's fair. I like him these days. I think he does a good show. He's been through his redemption arc. He's like pretty solid now on just about every issue. I still can't believe that the Prime Minister of the UK tweeted about how they were banning ninja swords as a way to control the violence in the United Kingdom. So the joke I came up with is the thing I came up with is no Russian ever called me a ninja. Like how what was it? Muhammad Ali said, "No Vietnamese never called me an N-bomb." So no Russian ever called me a ninja. I was trying to figure this up. I don't even know what a ninja sword is. Like, is a ninja sword a ninjato? Is it a katana? Is it a tanto? Is it a wakadashi? I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest. If you guys want to know the political videos I watch, I generally watch whatever the Duran puts up in the morning. I almost always watch Alexander Mercurius's video. If Daniel Davis puts up something, I'll often watch that. And those are, I guess, the main people I watch. And then as far as like political stuff. I used to watch Brian Merletic more when Biden was still in power, but he's just kind of a left-wing third-worldist, and even if I agree with him, I find a lot of his takes just very cringe. Because he'll complain about, like, neocons and stuff, and I'll agree with that. But then he'll start complaining about white people and things like that, and be like, oh, the white people trying to tell brown people what to do and stuff like that. I just find the Duran tends to cover does a lot of news. They do kind of the better one for that. So they tend to get the major stories. Trying to think who else I watch. Sean from Potentially Criminal is good if you ever watched him. I like Sean. Trying to think who else do I watch. The funniest thing about Daniel Davis is, like, he's kind of still a bit of a night. Like, he doesn't realize how insane the world is. So he often has very he just often is baffled by how retarded things are, and like he just can't accept it. He can't accept that like people are as corrupt and stupid as they seem to be. So he's always tried to come up with like explanations. It's funny because I posted that under one of his videos once, and he's like, "Yeah." I think he responded to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I have a problem with being too optimistic." The good thing about the Duran is they have kind of a political perspective that is somewhat different. I think Alexander Mercurius, I'm pretty sure, is old left. Or at least I think he's basically said that. He's like old labor, like pre-Blair era. I don't know Alexander Christoforou. He just kind of seems like a general right-wing populist type thing. But Brian Berletic is like a third worldist. It is weird because you'll get these weird scenarios because it's pretty like it's pretty obvious, I would imagine, on like a lot of like social issues. Brian Berletic is probably very left wing, but because he's in alliance with like a lot of people who are actually pretty conservative, it's got to be kind of awkward at times. Given those views. Then again, he lives in I don't know. I kind of feel if you're a Westerner who lives in Thailand, that's pretty shady to begin with. I don't know. I never want to live in Thailand. Maybe it's a beautiful place, but... Oh yeah, no. Oh right. The thing that's good about Daniel Davis is he gets John Mearsheimer and him are friends. So John Mearsheimer comes on basically whenever something major happens, and it's just awesome. It's always good to hear John. Well, like, an issue is Brian Berletic was, like, saying how people aren't joining the American Army because it's, like, a racist institution that kills brown people or something like that, or it's, like, this imperialist institution. And he said, like, the idea that people don't want to join it because it's woke is just a distraction. And I'm like, no, I think that is part of the reason. I think that is a big reason people don't want to join the U.S. Army. Because they don't want to die for my two moms or whatever the fuck it is. A friend of mine took one of Mearsheimer's classes. I think in like the first, it was like on World War II. And then, like, the first episode, like, the first lecture, Mearsheimer's like, yeah, the numbers on the Holocaust aren't accurate. They're inflated. Apparently he also just swears a lot in person. But, yeah. Like when Brian Berleck's talking about, oh, they don't want to serve in the imperialist army. And I'm like, well... I don't know. Like, if I was, like, a decade... Well, I live in Canada. If I was, like, a decade younger and I was told, you can invade Venezuela, kill communists, and take their oil, that sounds pretty awesome to me. Like, that's what I would like to sign up for. It's not that high. I think he says it's like 4 million or like 4.5 million. It's not like it's a really low number, but he just will flat out say that the death toll is just politically set. It's just funny because you can tell with like Mearsheimer that he kind of gets the JQ, but he doesn't want to admit it out loud. So he's like, yeah, no, it's just the Israel lobby. It's not the JQ. It's Zionism. It's just the way that Zionists are. I'm not anti Shlomo. I'm anti Zionist, which is the big cope. No, I mean if we wanted to have an actual imperial war, like where we get to kill communists or like jihadis or something and take their oil, like I don't know, that sounds pretty fun to me. Like, I'll take that over spreading human rights or whatever. Oh yeah, like if the like the army was to invade Mexico and just kill cartel members, like once again that sounds pretty fun. Or that sounds base. That's something like I don't know. I don't think that is the thing that would prevent people from joining the US Army. Oh, you know what's really cringe? Have you, all the videos of the where they show like the World War II Allied troops on D-Day, and they put Antifa, like they call them Antifa, is really cringe. I was talking to a friend of mine who, if you guys haven't seen it, there's a show, Rebel Heroes, that's about the birth of the SAS. It's a good show, actually. I quite enjoyed it, but like the main character in that, like his actual IRL political views were, they would not be appropriate today. I think he just basically felt that like Africans needed to be controlled, because left to their own devices, they would destroy themselves, and he just said stuff like that. But obviously they're using these guys as like the modern Antifa now. Wasn't there some project where they asked a bunch of World War II veterans if knowing now, if they knew now, if they knew then what was going to happen, would they have still fought? And like all of them said no. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just remember hearing something about that. Gonna rescue his waifu. Oh no, he put her in a crystal. I'm gonna admit the people who are kvetching over Trump possibly overthrowing Maduro kind of get on my nerves. It's like, look, I don't support neoliberalism. I don't like the neocons. But if Maduro gets overthrown, I'm not going to shed tears for him, because he's a communist who's created a massive refugee crisis. I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to feel bad about Maduro getting removed. Like, fuck Maduro, fuck Hugo Chavez, fuck Venezuela. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm supposed to feel sorry for them. Yeah. But we have all these, like, we have some people who are, the Duran's guilty of this, and some other people who are like, oh, Maduro was a good boy, he didn't do nothing. the Venezuelan government's not involved with drugs. The Venezuelan government is like this innocent institution. We have to rally behind them, and I get it. You don't like the neocons, you don't like the regime change operations, but I'm not gonna shill for Maduro. Just no. Like, I don't know. Like, and people, I haven't had too many people, but I've had people in the past who have been like, "Oh, Argent, you're so like 1990s, calling people commies and saying that like communism's bad." They put his waifu in a crystal. I also need to do a review of Serp's book. I just kind of don't want to do a review of it because a lot of the review might be kind of negative, and I don't really want to be that harsh on a close friend of mine. But the first half of his book was really good. The second half was not.
There's something below.
No, but you will get some people who say communism's based or whatever. And I'm just like, no, it's not. It's not at all. Is this Event Horizon?
The chaos is coming from there. Stop it, mortal.
Here we are, we're the princes of the universe. Here we belong, fighting for survival. We've come to be the rulers of your world. So what's happening with AA? I don't really say anything about AA. I don't really follow AA. Is he like having some breakdown or something, or a midlife crisis? Ooh. There we go. What am I supposed to do here? Do I hit that thing? Oh, yeah, no. I shouldn't have walked into the death beams. No, I hate how much the whole commie thing gets thrown around. Like, they just call everybody a communist, and it's annoying. Yes, Birth of a Nation is 3 hours long. It's available on archive.org, I think. I did not feel bored watching it, though. It is an interesting film. I don't know what killed me there. Was that plague or toxin? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so could someone explain to me who Wyvern the Terrible is? Because I really have no idea who that is. Or, the thing is, I vaguely know who some of these people are. I just never really watched them. Like, I vaguely know who Morgoth is. I just don't watch his content, so. There we go, turns off the death laser. Was he an elite enemy? I'm not really sure. Okay, Wanderer Scroll. Wait, why did AA start defending Fuentes? That's kind of weird. Yeah. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah, so nowadays I'm just kind of indifferent to Fuentes. I just kind of just stopped caring about him. I think he's a clown, but I don't really have any. I just try to avoid thinking about him. It's just if people like if people like Nick and they know the stuff that he's done and said, then there's really nothing I can do about it. If they don't like him, they don't like him. As I said, some of the stuff that he's done, like the whole Kanye thing, I just could never get over myself. But if that, I get that that doesn't matter to some people, and I might be in a minority on that one. But I don't know. I don't know. As I said, I don't like Fuentes for a number of different reasons, but I don't really like see a point into getting into fights with people over it anymore. So I just kind of try to ignore him. Well, even though I just said I wasn't going to do it, okay, here's my view of Nick Fuentes. I think that he was someone who had an immense amount of potential. The first time I saw him give a speech, and I'm like, wow, this dude's like 17 or 18. This guy is going places. This guy could be a congressman. He could be a senator. He is going somewhere in his life. And I was very impressed by him, and I watched America First for a while. But he just... Neo-sincerity is a hell of a drug. Neo-sincerity is a hell of a drug. And he just kept memeing himself into really stupid shit. I think to me the thing that really started to make me dislike him was the whole Baked Alaska thing, where he was like defending Baked Alaska, just assaulting random like people with pepper spray because they're like plebs, and he believes in hierarchy, and in hierarchy it's okay to just randomly attack people that are lower than you, and just stuff like that, and the whole incel thing. And I just feel like he got so high on his own irony posting, he just started to believe it. It's why I stopped doing the Death and Armies Party thing, because it was just, parts of it were just kind of getting into neo-sincerity territory, and I just thought it was probably time to step back. There's just a lot of dumb, and there's just a lot of dumb stuff that he's done over the years, like when he defended mass flagging and Hitler 2, 3, and 4 in the Louis Theroux documentary. And I just feel like a combination of his ego, people around him maybe giving him bad advice, irony posting and stuff, just kind of made him keep fucking up and kind of ruined his chance for making millennial males like yourself are too gynocentric. Are you talking to me, or are you talking to someone about someone else? So, I do not think I'm gynocentric. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on him. And then like there's the whole Kanye thing, and I don't know. It's just, I just feel like he's someone who wasted a lot of his potential because he had to be like edgy and try to be cool and stuff like that. I don't really hate him. It's just frustrating. I think that's the best way to put it. I'm just kind of frustrated with him. So I think he could have done a lot more good than what he wound up doing. And it was all just because of his ego. And I don't defend him getting deplatformed. I've never defended that. I think he got exponentially worse when he got deplatformed from like YouTube and stuff. But but Nick would take the edgiest positions possible, like just to shock people, like as like a shock jock type thing. He would just take, if there was like an irony position, like Hunter Biden's cool or something like that, he would just do that because he knows it would irritate people. And I get where that's coming from, but past a certain point, if you're going to lead a political movement, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to argue about it too much more, but that's just how I feel about Fuentes. I will say this. I do think that Jaden and Simon are snakes. I will agree with that. I think Simon was a massive snake, and I think Jaden is too. My issue with Jaden and Simon are that their whole pretense that Nick was doing all this shady shit, and we knew about it, and but we're not responsible for any of the shady shit that was going on. So it's like, oh, America First is this criminal organization or whatever like that, and it's like, but you guys were like his right and left hand man. You were involved in all of this. You co-signed all of this. You can't just blame him for everything and pretend that you weren't involved. I think you misunderstood what I mean by good. I meant like be effective and get things done. I just feel like a lot of his ability to get things done got undermined by like just the drama that constantly surrounds him. Like, I maintain the Kanye thing was stupid. Kanye posts fucking porn on his Twitter. I mean, all I just meant is, like, I felt sometimes if Nick was, I think, getting a really good message out there and was talking about some stuff, and then would go into irony posting mode and start talking about how, like, he's an incel, not a volcel, and stuff like that. I just don't think it was productive. That's literally all I mean. And once again, you can agree with me or disagree with me. That's just how I feel about it. Elite enemy defeated. Could you explain what gynocentric means? Because I actually don't really know what you're referring to by that. So if you could explain that, that would be helpful to me. So I'm sure that's a common term. It's just one I'm not very familiar with. Centered on or concerned exclusively with women, taking a female or specifically a feminist point of view. Okay, I'd have to know, like, okay, that's what I figured it meant. I don't know what specific context you're referring to, though. Zach, did you just ban him? Okay, let me just... Okay. Alright. Okay, how do I unban people? Oh, okay. Okay, clear. I'm okay. Okay. It's fine. Okay. That's good. that like who was which rapper was that who like their album was like I started from the bottom or whatever nonsense? Zach, your fingers had a gynocentric moment. I think we can all agree that's what happened. Drake, yeah, Drake. I'm from Toronto. People are obsessed with Drake in Toronto. Like, because Drake started calling Toronto the Six, and then for a long time that was the thing. There is a funny Drake story though I read once. So Drake was having sex with some thought, and he did his business in a condom, and he was scared that the woman was going to try to impregnate herself with his sperm. So he apparently he puts hot sauce in the condoms after he uses them. And the woman like went into the bathroom and fished it out and injected herself with like the hot sauce seeded sperm, and it like burned her skin or something. I can't tell if that's based or degenerate or both or something like that, but that was like the Drake story. Anyone remember the when anyone here ever play EVE Online? And as far as Drake goes, all I really know about is the Drake fleets, like when they were doing the massive Caldari passive shield tank ships. Well, actually, Drake is worse because Drake is half Jewish, half black. No, I'm gonna have to kill my waifu. It's rough, man.
The chaos has her. Her soul is being distorted.
What, are they making her read the Talmud or something? Holy shit, this is a rough boss. Well, Quebec is based linguistic nationalism, so it's like Anglo's out, Haitians in. Is kind of how it often is there. I have a bad feeling this is going to be a multi-phase boss fight. Oh no, it wasn't. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss the Chinese some days. No, not my Aryan waifu. Khazan and her could have had like a dozen beautiful children. Who all would have been like 6 feet tall and had 120 IQs.
The chaos nearly consumed her.
Indians are like maybe the most nepotistic people on earth. They will, if one of them ever gets into a leadership position, they will just immediately start removing everybody.
He's been taken to the Linon mine. The Linon mine is we need to get.
Okay, well, I think that's good for today. I hope everybody enjoyed the live stream. I'll try to get some content out this week. God bless everybody and enjoy what's left of your weekend.